Hi beautiful people, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. It's great to have you in my little corner of YouTube where we speak all things adulting, faith, and lifestyle. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button. That red button must turn gray. Give this video a massive thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment down below what you enjoyed about today's video and what other videos you'd like to see. Share this with anybody and everybody who you think might need it. And last but not least, hit those notification bells so that you do not miss another video. So without wasting any more time, let us get straight into today's video. So we're back again with another video, and I'm actually recording this video on my 25th birthday, and I thought, what more of a fitting video could I publish than to speak about advice that I would give my younger self, career advice that I would give my younger self. I'm about to hit the 3-year mark in my professional career, and there's a lot that I've learned and a lot of things that I wish I knew 3 years ago, things I wish I should have done or could have done or shouldn't have done or whatever. And because I've walked the journey, and that's exactly the whole purpose of this channel, to impart knowledge, not just on the younger people that view my videos, but also on the people who are further ahead in their career journey, who can, continue this conversation in the comments. So this is literally just the foundation. Let us engage in the comments section about things that we wish we could have done, should have done, must have done, did do in the early ages of our or stages of our career, and things that we would like to impart on the younger generation. There is so much to learn from all of us. I am not an expert. I'm not a career coach. Listen, I'm none of that stuff. I'm literally just learning as I go, and that's exactly why I started this channel, to kind of just figure it out with everyone, because we don't know everything. And yeah, perfection is not a requirement. It's a great thing to strive for, but one thing I've learned is that perfection is not a requirement. Anyway, without rambling, let's get into the first piece of advice that I would have given my younger self before or at the start of my career. Number one, choose a career that intrigues you. This is exactly why I went into consulting, because I wanted exposure to so much. At 21 years old, when I finished my honors degree, I didn't know what I wanted to be. I did not know my left from my right. I just knew that I wanted to get into a professional career that would help me grow as quickly as possible and stretch me mentally. And that was it, because I didn't know what I liked. Guys, I was applying for medical stuff, BSCs, mathematics. I hated that stuff. And I'm so glad I didn't even study that stuff, but that's the stuff I applied for, That goes to show how much I did not know what I wanted to do with my life. And had I not chosen consulting, I don't know where I would have been, because I think consulting opened my eyes to a lot of things that I didn't know. It taught me a lot. It showed me what's important to me, especially when it comes to the impact that I want to make from a professional point of view. And yeah, I wouldn't have chosen another place to start my career. But nonetheless, this isn't a consulting video. But I just want to highlight that you need to choose a career that will stretch you. And if you start your career as young as I did, you are allowed to look around. If something doesn't work for you, stay there for a little bit, then go to something else. I think that's the trend around now with a lot of our generation, that people job hop. I'm not an advocate for job hopping personally. I'm not a fan, but really, if you are young enough to pivot your career as many times as you want to, go for it. There is nothing stopping you from going from consulting into banking or into industry, any other industry or whatever. Genuinely, there is nothing stopping you. So pivot as many times as you need to. And I think I might touch on this at a later point in the video as well. But if it doesn't stretch you mentally, and if the work feels redundant and unfulfilled, or if it leaves you feeling unfulfilled, you can't sit there for the next 40 years. Make a plan. You do not want to find yourself miserable because of a job. So pivot as many times as you need to. Find yourself in a career that intrigues you. Even if you don't like it, if you're still learning every single day, that is part of being intrigued. You're still learning. Every day is a school day for you. And that's what matters when starting out your career, so that you can learn not just about, the industries that you're tapping into, but also about yourself, what you like, what you dislike, and all of that stuff, what you find passion in and fulfillment in, and what you don't. Because all of us, we go and study become accounting and we go the CA route, and then we find out when we're doing our articles, yeah, it's not for me, so let's jump around. You don't have to be an engineer, you don't have to be an accountant. You listen, there's more to it, there's more to life than just those two. So find something that intrigues you, something that stretches you mentally, and something that gives you the ability to learn every single day. The second thing, one thing that I'm still working on, is being productively busy. For the longest time, this was even before I started working, I was always busy. You can ask the people I went to high school with, you can ask the people I went to varsity with, you can ask the people I went to primary school. I've always just been a busy bee. If I'm not dancing, I'm in speech and drama, I'm in public speaking, hey, listen, I'm playing basketball, I'm debating, hey, I'm doing a lot. I'm in leadership, I'm a prefect, I'm a mentor, and yes, a lot of those things taught me a lot, but I fell into this trap of constantly being busy, that I realized that I reached a point where I wasn't being productively busy. I was just being busy for the sake of being busy. And the one thing that I've learned that I wish my younger self knew is that busyness needs to look or be productive. If you have nothing to show for your busyness, then you're not being productive. You're not being efficient. You're just running around on a hamster wheel, um, with the hopes that you're going to get to something. But because your busyness has no direction, you're literally just going to continue running for ever and ever. Amen. You know what I mean? So be productively busy. You don't always have to be busy. Productivity is rest sometimes. Productivity sometimes looks like taking leave. Productivity sometimes looks like going out for lunch with friends and family. You don't always need to be busy, and that's something I'm still working on, because personally I live alone. I really like my own space. um, but the one thing I've realized is that I like my own space because it allows me to be busy. And now I'm trying to get myself out of my own space so that I'm not busy, or I force myself to not be busy, because yeah, man, I have nothing to show for the busyness. Okay, no, I have a lot to show for the busyness, but sometimes I'm just busy, and when I look back at the time that I spent on whatever, I there's no outcome. There's no outcome, and I feel like that is now time wasted because I have nothing to show for that busyness. So be productively busy, not just being busy for the sake of being busy. Number three, oh yeah, number three, make time to take care of yourself. The hard reality is, these companies aren't here to take care of you. If you wait for them to take care of you, you will be utterly disappointed. These companies are here to make money. It's a transaction between you and that company, a transaction of your skills for their money and vice versa. Anything beyond that, they don't care. They're trying to hit their targets, they're trying to hit their revenue margins and all of that. Anything beyond that, they don't care. So with that, make the time to take care of yourself, because they're really not going to take care of you. Yeah, I'm going to leave that one there. I'm not going to, it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to leave it there. The fourth piece of advice that I would give myself is to have hard conversations when they're required. If something is bugging you, if you want something, if you don't want something, if you don't like something, if you do like something, have the difficult and uncomfortable conversations. And I mean this from a professional point of view. If you want to be exposed to something, say it. If you don't want to be exposed to something anymore, if you're tired of something, say it. Because like I mentioned in the previous point, these companies are here to make money. They're going to use your skills for their benefit to make money. Sometimes those aren't the skills that you want to hone in on. They work on your or they leverage or harness your strengths when you actually have weaknesses that you want to work on. And if you don't say, hey boss, I want to be rolled off of this project and go on to A, B, and C, they're going to leave you on a project that you absolutely hate, simply because you're good at it, and they need resources on that project. And this one is purely from a consulting point of view. Do comment in the comment section if other industries are like this as well, or other professions. But genuinely, if you don't speak up, in most cases, you are going to find yourself on projects that you don't want to be on, that you really already know a lot about and aren't stretching you. Going back to the first point of being in a career that stretches you mentally, if you don't have the difficult conversations, you're going to find yourself in the cycle of monotony, which you don't want to find yourself in, because then your work becomes boring, then you become miserable, then you don't want to wake up to go to work, and you know. So it is, you know, this ripple effect of just unfulfillment, if I should put it that way. So have the difficult conversations if you need to, if you feel undervalued, if you want to leave your job because of certain reasons. Speak to your bosses and your superiors about that, that hey, I feel like I'm at a point in my career where I don't want to do this anymore, or I've learned enough here, I would like to pivot into something else. And if those people genuinely have a heart, I don't want to say if they care for you, because like I mentioned, these companies don't care about us that much. So if these people have a heart, they will allow you to pivot into something else, whether it's another team in the company, or whether it is outside the company, whatever it might be. You can't hold someone back from wanting to grow in other fields and in other areas of their life. So with that being said, have those difficult conversations, because you're going to stuck feeling like you owe somebody something, or this is how things are supposed to be, when they could be better if you just opened your mouth and spoke. Give it a think. Number 5, another one that I'm really, really, really struggling with, is creating an identity for yourself outside of your job. The first thing I say when I introduce myself to someone: hi, I'm Rorisang, and I'm a management consultant. I'm a NPO director, and I am a content creator. What am I outside of that stuff? I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm a friend. I'm a cousin. I am a loving human being. I take every step I do with compassion. I'm a very emotional human being. Listen, the list goes on, but I've created so much of this identity on hi, I'm Rorisang, and I'm a management consultant, that I've had to figure out who I am outside of my job. And it's an ongoing exercise, and it's a very difficult one, because sometimes now you have to face things that you actually don't like. Hi, I'm Rorisanga, and I'm still facing childhood traumas, for example, or I'm still dealing with, I don't know, whatever, So there's certain things that you have to actually be honest with yourself about, so that you can learn more about yourself. Yeah, man. So create an identity about of yourself outside of just your job, because at the end of the day, you could be retrenched tomorrow. Bye, Rory. But what am I? When I turn around, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, I'm a daughter, I'm a granddaughter, I'm so many other things outside of just hi, I'm Rorisang, and I'm a management consultant. Yeah, and I think it becomes difficult, especially if you're also trying to pivot into other careers as well. If you've created this identity, such a strong identity in management consulting, for example, allowing yourself to be malleable and agile, moving into different types of careers. Hi, I'm Rorisang, and I'm a banker. That's going to feel awkward. And then you limit yourself and you limit your growth, because you've created like this fixation on what your career is, and what it says about you, that you don't actually know who you are outside of that. And yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow, but I'm still learning. And I'm getting there. I'm learning a lot about myself. It's very uncomfortable, because you actually have to unpack things that you wouldn't have ordinarily faced, if you just said, I'm my career and that's it. But digging deeper, is very uncomfortable. But yeah, nonetheless, create an identity for yourself outside of your profession. It's extremely important. The sixth thing that I would say is to not overshare. Your colleagues are not your friends. Yes, some of them do turn into friends, but it's a very rare exception. Your colleagues are not your friends. We are living in a dog eat dog world. we are competing for the same top positions. Your colleagues are not your friends. Keep things to yourself. Um, like I said, there are rare exceptions, but keep things to yourself. They're not your friends. Yeah, I'm not going to belabor the point, but be careful who you share things with. If anything, go to therapy, speak to your therapist, speak to your siblings, whatever. But do not overshare with your colleagues. They are not your friends, and anything that you share with them can be used against you when it's a you versus them type of situation. Yeah, friend, I'm going to the doctor. Yeah, Rory missed a deadline because, I was covering for her because she went to the doctor. Do not overshare. Um, Guard yourself. You know how the book of Proverbs tells us to guard our hearts. I know I'm taking it out of context, but guard your heart and your mind at work as well. Your guys, no one is your friend. Do not trust anyone. No one is your friend. I'm not saying this because I've been hurt. I'm just speaking from a place where I've seen things happen to people at work. And other YouTubers speaking about the same things, people who, create the type of content that I create. Just be careful who you open up to, because yeah, no, it's not cute out here. Anyway, moving right along. Number 7, touching on what I mentioned in a previous point as well. It is okay to pivot as many times as you want to. You're never too old to change your career. You're never too old to go back to school. You're never too old to learn a new skill and go into a completely different career. If you feel like you're tired of something, if you're tired of being a banker, if you're tired of working at a school, go and do a data analytics course. Go and become a business analyst. Go and, guys, the world is your oyster. When I left the house for first year, actually on my matric dance day. No. When I got my matric results, the one thing that my mom left me with is, Rori, the world is your oyster. And I know it's a very cliche thing to say, but essentially what I took from that is, I can do whatever I want to do in this world, as long as it's obviously responsible and legal and it goes according to your morals, and it's a life that still glorifies God. But you can do anything you want to be in this world. You can be anything you want to be in this world. And if you limit yourself to what your parents say you must be, what your degree says you must be, or whatever, you're going to find yourself 40, 50 years from now sitting and saying, I wish I should have, or I could have, or I would rather look back saying, I tried everything. And this worked, this didn't work. And I'm proud of myself for the things that didn't work. And I'm proud of myself for the things that did work. I'm proud of the lessons I learned. I'm proud of the exposure I got. I'm proud of the people I met, And if you don't pivot and you stay in this one thing for the rest of your life, I don't know. It works for some. Personally, I don't think it's going to work for me, because I'm such a curious being that I want to learn more. But if it works for you, listen, stay where you are. But it's okay to pivot. If something isn't working for you, get up, open a book, go on YouTube, go on Udemy, start a short course, whatever it is, and pivot as many times as you need to. There is nothing stopping you but you from changing your life and your well-being and how you want to direct your career. You are the only person that is in your way, not your family, not your friends, not your current workplace, whatever it is. You are standing in the way of your dream career and your dream life. I mentioned once again in one of the previous videos, one of the very first videos I put on this channel, to create yourself. You are standing in the way of your dream self and your current self. Create yourself. Pivot as many times as you need to so that you can create the life that you want to live. Number 8, this one also goes to one of the previous points that I mentioned on this video. Take care of your mental health. Seek professional advice if you need to. Seek, the counsel of other people who are like-minded, who care about your well-being, because this generation and the careers that we find ourselves in are really fast-paced. There's a lot of sadness in this world. There is a lot of death happening around us. It's such a dark atmosphere, and sometimes it gets a lot. Sometimes it's too much. Sometimes it's overwhelming. Sometimes you're not achieving things at the rate that you wanted to. And if you don't take care of your mental health, you're going to find yourself doing things, saying things, falling into things that you didn't want to do in the first place. So do take care of your mental health. It's extremely important, especially if your workplace isn't the healthiest. If you're still there and you're struggling to get out of that whatever workplace toxic environment, whatever it is, until you get out and find something healthier, you're going to need to speak to someone. You're going to need to offload on someone, because your heart can only take so much. Your mind can only take so much before it gives up on you. So don't force yourself into that position where your body is giving up on you, or where it forces you to take care of yourself. Take care of it so it doesn't get to that point. Yeah, I hope I'm clear. And the last thing that I want to mention, there will always be work to do. Go to sleep, rest. The work will still be there tomorrow. There will always be work to do. um, yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Tomorrow, there will still be work. You finish this work, they reward you with more work. So listen, go to sleep, go rest, go spend time with your friends, go spend time with your partner, go spend time with your family. The work will be there tomorrow. It will really be there tomorrow. Yeah. Anyway, so with that, we've reached the end of today's video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share this with anybody and everybody who you think might need it. I really, really hope that some of these pieces of advice are relevant to you. And like I mentioned, do continue the conversation in the comment section. Share some of the pieces of advice that you would like to give your younger self. In retrospect, what would you have done differently? What would you not have done? What would you have said, or whatever? What career advice would you give to your younger self looking back that would have changed how your career is, or would have accelerated you to beyond where you are right now? Yeah, man, let's learn from each other. Like I mentioned, I'm only 3 years in and there's so much for me to still learn. So I would love to learn from you guys as much as you guys learn from me. So yeah, like I mentioned, with so much love and so much light from me to you, have an amazing rest of the day. Stay safe and God bless. Bye, guys.